Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for March the 25th, 2020. Today I would like to continue the discussion had on Monday when it came to those provisions not in place for the self-employed for obvious reasons but yet has caused a considerable amount of stir. The rumour floating about, which has actually culminated in a number of articles, and we're going to centre on the Daily Mail because they're amusing, is that Rishi Sunak is preparing another economic bailout for 5 million self-employed people after a number of letters and petitions were sent to the Chancellor, the most notable being the 2,000 musicians, which would include the London Symphony Orchestra. Understandably, many now without work are stuck. It's as simple as that. We cannot work from home. Well, I can, but donate to my Patreon and I'll be able to continue doing it. I'm joking, you don't have to do that. The point really is, with jobs like that, construction and many other industries, there is no backup, no help. So many are worried about it, and originally it was considered operationally difficult or challenging to be able to help them, and that came from Stephen Barclay, who also in Parliament said this.
Mr. Speaker, will the Chancellor make a statement on financial support for the self-employed in the light of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we know many self-employed people are in real distress, but we are working urgently to address this problem, and I say to the self-employed, we have not forgotten you. Help is coming. But the policy and delivery is complex, and we cannot and should not rush to announce a scheme that begs more questions than it answers. The Chancellor has held meetings this morning with representatives of the self-employed and will continue to meet them this afternoon.
Fascinating stuff, I know. When speaking on this, Dr. Adam Marshall, Director General of the BBC, has said, while we understand the complexity involved, there are 5 million self-employed people who need help similar in scale and scope to that put in place for larger firms in recent days. We will work closely with ministers to find a way to develop and deliver support to self-employed people and to ensure that the measures announced for larger businesses make it through quickly to the front line. One of my favourite memes I've seen so far in all of this is that the families that scrape by manage to have savings and can just about get by under the circumstances. It's the multi-billion-pound corporations that are all under threat of going under, because apparently they weren't prepared for the worst. At all. Ever. I can't imagine why. And I know someone's going to be really pedantic and say, but the stock market. Don't. Something I find truly fascinating about all of this is that while many companies are going to extreme measures to protect their customers because they need them, the banks are doing something similar, but not for the customers, for themselves. And they're going to increase bank charges to overdrafts. Because once you have their money, you never give it back. The best deal is the one that brings the most profit. Anything worth doing is worth doing for money. I'll see if anyone recognises that one. A suggestion put forward is to do something like Norway, where they give grants derived from the averages of their earnings over the last 3 years, which is in fact an idea that has been floated, to match the 80% and average it based on your tax returns. Not going to lie, it would be a tad tricky for me because my income has grown exponentially over 3 years, but I'll take the average. I'm sure it's still worth more than universal credit or statutory sick pay. Another really interesting business that's actually struggling significantly for obvious reasons is the airline industry, who are going to require substantial bailouts, as the majority of airlines may go under due to the mass of grounded flights, which is a tad concerning. What would be more concerning is if the only one left standing is Ryanair. If you don't know who Ryanair are the kind of airline where everything has to be weighed, including yourself, and if you weigh a pound more than what you say you weighed when you got on the flight, you get charged through the teeth. Oh, and let's not forget here, if you take a flight from London to New York, it will drop you at the nearest destination, in Moscow. And I'm not joking. With there being a distinct possibility that Parliament may well close today, politics are about to get very, very dry on this channel, but I will do my best to cover as much as I can and hopefully try to break from the regular subject matter of the day, which is the rolling rock virus, and try and talk about other politics and policies that are different. I am trying, I promise. Maybe I'll have to switch to another country, I don't know yet. Please do let me know what you think about the ideas put forward, the possibility of help for the self-employed, but also the idea about doing what Norway is doing in the comments down below. Also, Name a beer, any rubbish beer. I bought a bottle of San Miguel today. Wish me luck.